Hey Zen fam. So, I've got the day off work and, I've been doing a bit of housework here and there, tidy this, find that, so on and so forth. And, like I'm sure a lot of you do, when I'm doing chores around the house, either I'll put on some music or I'll put on some YouTube. So, I put on a bit of YouTube, listen to some stuff. Now, even though I try to keep politics out of this channel, because this channel is purely a gaming channel, I do like political stuff. I'm very heavily into both American and UK politics, and so on and so forth. So occasionally I like to watch stuff like The Young Turks, or Secular Talk, or Humanist Report, Redacted Tonight, stuff like that. So I was listening to The Young Turks' Damage Report. And the correspondent was basically saying that truckers are moving away from their support, traditionally speaking, to the Republican Party, i.e. Donald Trump, because they're seeing less work, because people have got less money. There's less orders of stuff going to places, therefore there's less for them to do. So they're seeing a downturn directly at them from the actions of Donald Trump and the Republican Party because of their tariffs and tax and the way that they've handled taxation. Only the top people are getting at it. Those rebates for taxes are coming in. It's like basically, bribery for the super rich. Here, be richer. But the average Joe on the street, the likes of you and me, we're just normal, everyday working people, we can't catch a break, and we've got less money to throw around. So with that, it comes to be the issue that we have less money. And this in turn, this particular data, if the truckers are worried that they're not going to make enough money because there's less money going around for them to deliver stuff, because people aren't buying stuff because they haven't got the money to do so, this makes me worry about the next generation of games consoles. The next box and the PlayStation 5, is this going to increase their price because there'll be less units being able to be sold? I mean, this is something that some people have spoken about tangentially. I mean, I've even spoken about it on my recent live stream Q&A, where I was asked by one of the viewers to give my thoughts on this, and I thought I'd expel upon it a little further in this video. See, a basic economic presence has been economic idea has been missed here by the current occupant of the White House, is that people need money to buy things. If they can't buy things, the economy is not stimulated. Capitalism, as it stands, lives and dies on people buying things, goods and services. So if people can't buy a PlayStation 5, then it stands to reason that there are not going to be PlayStation 5s to be able to be sold. If they're not being able to be sold, then they're not being shipped. If they're not being shipped, then truck drivers are not earning money for shipping them. And then the game staff, the staff at the gaming shops and other shops that sell electronics, they don't have the stock to sell, and it all piles in on itself. And here's the extra point, right? Do you know why the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 lasted so long on the market? For some of you younger ones, you might not know this. Alright? when those systems were going halfway through their normal lifespan, we hit a recession. Yes, we had a point of economic slowdown so bad that it wasn't feasible for the giant game companies, i.e. Sony and Microsoft, to make, produce, ship and sell new games consoles because they honestly didn't believe they were going to be able to sell them because the people out there didn't have the money to buy them. I mean, it's not exactly a hard concept to get your head round. You know, if people don't have money, they can't buy things. So, if we end up that there's going to be another recession, because, you know, the Republican Party has gone to its donors in little backdoor meetings and gone, look lads, there might be a wee recession coming, but it'll be short and it'll be shallow and you'll be fine, and we're giving you another wee tax cut just so that if it does go bad and it does happen, you're not going to leave us high and dry. Great. So they get another tax cut, we get gouged again, and we probably won't be able to afford a games console of the next generation variety, and then, you know, we won't get anything after that because nobody will afford it. It's just a big bag of horrible from end to end. It's like, so let's range all this out, right? No money about, no consoles. No consoles about, no investment in gaming. No investment in gaming. Everything plateaus. The market stagnates. Gaming drops. This is not good. And then gaming drops, and then abominations like Stadia look more promising because Stadia looks cheap, but it isn't cheap. What happens is Stadia comes along, promises to be this cheaper option, you know. You pay under around 50 quid for the, you know, the uber duper version. You get that, and then next thing you know, you're paying for a subscription and you're buying all your digital games full price that you can never own and never trade in, you know. And then eventually Google gets bored, because that's what it does, it gets bored. I mean, hello, Google Glass. And the next thing you know, we've got no game system, we've got no games, we've got no network. Sony and Microsoft are gutted. You know, they've taken a lot of their things out of it. So the capital's gone there, and next thing you know, gaming is completely and utterly suffered, and it'll probably take forever to get it back, if ever at all. So it could be the case that, you know, if everything turned out to be the worst possible version of itself, gaming could not totally go away, but go away enough to where it is hurt forever. I don't want that. I really don't want that. You don't want that either. Let's face it. We're gamers. You know, this is our thing. This is what we love. And if gaming goes away, what am I going to talk about on this channel? What am I going to do? Oh man, what are you going to do? I tell you this much, right? The political systems around the world need to change. And I'll tell you this much, okay? See if you're one of my American viewers, right? Or you're an American and you've come across this, right? You'd better hope to hell that Sanders makes it into the nomination process. Because if he does, hopefully, him can be either Prez or Deputy Prez with Warren. Because those two actually believe in, like, keeping the economy going and looking after the worker. You know what? See that Bernie Sanders bloke, right? He turns up and supports striking workers. He's behind the unionisation of video game development. Alright? There was a recent case where there was a bunch of coal miners who had done all this work, and then the company that they worked for worked them just long enough so they could get the coal out the ground, and then they declared bankruptcy. And they pay off, the shareholders, but not the workers. So you know what the workers did? They're basically, as far as I know, they might still be doing this. They're camping out on the rail line that holds the train that takes the coal to the place where it's going to be sold and processed and all the rest of it. And they're holding that coal back till they get their money. Senator Bernie Sanders hears about this, right? Can he be there in person like he often has done for a lot of these picket lines, like he did for Walmart workers? He sends them a bunch of pizzas to keep them going. What, dude? I mean, some people out there, oh, what else he could do a lot more. The guy's got money. The guy's trying to run for president. He can't divest himself of any way, left, right, centre and all the rest of it. But he did something tangible. When was the last time you heard about an American politician doing something tangible? Any politician, come to think of it. It's like, that's what you need to see, is more of politicians actually doing things. And not blaming the gaming industry for the woes created by other Fruit Loops with guns. Sorry, this has gone a bit rambly here, and I'm kind of gotten on my soapbox, guys. But nonetheless, it's food for thought. And considering I've given you a meal, perhaps you'd like to pay me in kind by commenting down below. I'd like to read the dessert that is your comments. That metaphor went a bit wonky, didn't it? Anyway, you know the drill. Rate, favourite, comment, share and subscribe. And of course, as always, aye, nae bother.